What's up, Bears fans? Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being here while I'm live. I appreciate you being here. It's really good to have you here. And we're going to look at Trestan Ebner, basically, the whole point. So, where goes one shy city soldier? Appreciate you being here live in the chat. While we're going to take a look at Trestan Ebner. As you can see, he's on the screen. We're going to try something a little bit different today. We're actually just going to roll the play. I am going to help you identify where he is. He's just here in the slot on this particular play. 2 games worth where we've just selected sort of 5 plays just to try and see what he is and what he does. This is where he is. So things I want you to pay attention to. I'm not going to tell you too much. Obviously the position on the field. Obviously this is the field side. That's the boundary side. In terms of strength, alignment, we've got a tight end quite clearly to the left here. It's actually, I think it might even be a tackle over. 3 here, and that's obviously one of the halfbacks. That's another of the halfbacks, and it's sort of a mesh kind of look. Looking at the defense, obviously 4 up, 3 off, 2 DBs, another DB, another DB. This obviously kind of being here kind of points towards zone, but it could be obviously a man on the tight end. So I'm just going to let this go and then just see what you think of it, and then we'll have a look, see what Trestan does and what he makes of his opportunity there. So obviously there he makes a catch. There's that sort of mesh look. It's a quick one read pass. And you can quite clearly see there. So what do we see from this? So obviously in terms of routes, you've got, essentially 2 goes. You've got like a fade release over here and like an inside sort of release over here. And these are 2 clear out routes. You can quite clearly see it's man. It means we're kind of man here because this guy bails the middle of the field. So watching it go there, obviously the RPO there is to sort of hold this backside pursuit, hold this linebacker here. And what I like here about Trestan is the speed of get off, and then he slows his route up. You see he's waiting for the other 2 to clear. It's a nice sharp cut. And then the ball is thrown, as you can quite clearly see there, slowing him up, stopping him before the boundary. If the ball's put outside here to the 50, that's a much harder pursuit. Because of the pursuit angle, it gives him then a cutback option. But sits him back. We've got pursuit here. So what's he going to do with his opportunity? He can't really cut back because the linebacker's there. So he still has to then try and make it to the outside. Throws the hand off. TCU, good DBs, always very well trained. So he obviously sort of fights through it. Not a lot of room to work with by the time he's sort of been able to turn back around for the second time there. So again, it's just a case of making sure you're going to secure the catch. There goes the ball. A little bit behind, as you can see. He's had to rotate his body completely against the direction of travel to make the catch, which he does, secures the catch. There's the DB right up in his face. Gets his hand on and, gets the first down, gets past the markers, which is what you kind of hope that you're going to be doing. You're going to be going past there. No, I appreciate you being here. Where goes one? And Skokes, good as always to see you in the chat as well live. And anybody else watching this as a later thing, you're always welcome to come in and jump in live. Follow me on Twitter and you'll be able to see when I'm going live. I will do this more often, not just for the Bears, but I'm also going to be looking at prospects for the upcoming draft as well. So we'll go and do that a little bit later on in the season. Obviously, we'll have our NFL All-22. Trestan in the backfield. Obviously, you can see we're kind of in a little bit of trouble here as an offense. 2 receivers over here. Quite clearly, we're not buying it on defense. Everyone's kind of up within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage pretty much. We're starting on the 2-yard line. Let it run wide zone. Okay, so what's he doing with his opportunity? We just need to clear some room really from the goal line. And for a guy that's sold as being a receiving back, and he's sold as being a bit lightweight and all the rest of it, and not a particularly physical runner. So we're starting and what I like here, what I don't like is the offensive blocking, to be honest, because with a head-up nose in zone, even if you wide zone, there's no way the guard's going to get up on a head-up nose. You need to do something. So if you close the gap and then you start going, so close the gap, make contact with the outside shoulder, play side shoulder, and that's when you release, when your guard comes and checks. So you're coming up on a line of scrimmage, making contact, so he can't get them penetration or lateral movement either way, depending upon which way you're running the ball. Making that contact stops him dead, and the whole point of doing that as an offensive lineman, even if you're in zone, is because then you're giving everyone else a chance to sort of do that. This is a very hard block for this guy, and he gets kind of all bent up out of shape, because he's reaching. You see him reaching there? He's never going to make good contact there because he's reaching for it. Linebacker comes up and fills that backside between the guard and that's moving over in the tackle. Tackle 64 gets a bit grabby there. That could be a hold, while he's in the end zone, would be a problem. Offensive tackle to the left is just basically getting a kick out block. The linebacker on that side is widening to make sure that he's staying outside contact for that cut between the tackle and guard. Guard gets a nice shove there to the inside. Then the centre comes free and we're running. You see Trestan's basically cutting up this gap. He sees a butt there. He sees a butt there. He's going to cut up between the two because we've got that sort of outside pursuit coming there. Gets his head down. It's the defensive tackle, the nose tackle, who wasn't, no contact was on him from the line of scrimmage. He's the guy. So this is the guy that actually makes the play. And again, like I say, he's literally within 6 inches of the offensive centre. So if he makes contact, gives his guard a chance to that delay gives his guard a chance to get round. Then you go on to the second level. Again, kick out block there. That's supposed to be taken over in the wide zone kind of scheme. We get outside contained, so that's going to be the case. It doesn't always go the way you want it to block, so then you just basically go up and hit the next guy, the next target, nearest target. That's the one that you hit. You've got to make sure you get your hat on somebody. And again, this is the problem. It's sort of all lateral, no upfield penetration. You've got to know that you've got to hit the outside shoulder, let your guy get across, and then you release. That's the whole point of what you're doing there. So what's Trestan doing? It's sort of like that sort of delay step. So that's a delay step. See him just sort of pivot, turn, the delay step. And the reason why it's a delay is because it's a shotgun snap. That's why it's a delay step. QB turns, hands off to the mesh. I don't particularly like this. The basket he's put in there, it's kind of a little bit receiver catch, but I mean, again, I'm picking flies here. This is what we're kind of reading, and that's what we need to see. Is obviously you're looking to see what these two guys are doing. That's, kicking it outside is quite clearly dead, but he's still pressing wide. Why is he still pressing wide? Well, the whole point of wide zone is to create yourself a cutback lane. And if this isn't a hold here, I don't know what is. But at the end of the day, if the centre comes up to the outside shoulder, that's what we get. We've got a chance then to go further forward, but he doesn't. So this is the way it happens. This guy, you can see completely, he's totally lost this. He's no leverage at all. Can't get his even head in front play side. Tries to get play side. Completely out of balance. The tackle's actually sort of dragging him down at the same time. Centre's going off to block somebody else, but Trestan's cut back. And he does the right thing. Sort of presses outside, sees that guy in the lane, cuts back, gets skinny, sees he's got his sort of shoulders down. 6-7 yards, and you'll take 6-7 yards when you're backed up against your own end zone. So pretty good job there as well. So again, sort of play calling for me is a little bit, obviously that's the boundary, this is the field, let it run. There's Trestan in the backfield, that's him right there. Just going to let it run, let you guys think, see what you think. So again, sort of looking at the backside. What's the tight end doing? Okay, what's the point on the backside here? And particularly pay attention to this tackle, the guard. Again, very, very quick. So, sort of seeing it from the other side. I really like this play. It's not a bells and whistle play. It's not, you don't put it on your highlight tape at the end of the year and sort of get to Windy City gridiron and get him to do one of his awesome, and they are awesome video highlights. It's not one of those plays, but I do like this because the patience, and you see the vision. I don't know if you can see this, but his head is quite clearly looking at the hole, looking at the linebackers. The whole point of this RPO kind of mesh here is to hold the back end with this tight end release. It's to hold those two guys because they've got to respect the pass. Because he could pull and then pass, he could pull and run. And what I like here is you're basically getting like a power with like a zone on the other side. So this is like an inside trap. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. Again, a little bit grabby by the guard, but you see him work his hips around, so that's a good job. We'll call that a good job. Tackle doing that sort of inside wham on the middle backer who's coming up to fill very aggressively. And it's made because, and we're going to see it, I'm just basically going to go to the other angle because I like to see it from this angle. Again, it's sort of that pivot step, which is common with shotgun. You see the width here already, and this is because this guy is the read, and Trestan's basically setting up this block. So the whole point of coming laterally, wide zone kind of look, is we're giving this wham a chance to actually make play, and you're eyeballing the linebacker, so you're making the linebacker think, you know, see blood in the water, come chase, and then, oh shit, here comes the tackle. Nice wham block there by the tackle, gets the body moving, which is what you want to see. And again, you know, Trestan, delay, okay, cut now, and watch the acceleration. We're just going to watch this at full speed. That's some serious acceleration to get sort of sit again a nice 6-7 yards on what is basically an inside trap. So Sophisticated Thoughts saying in the chat, I don't know if you've seen this live afterwards, Trestan Ebner definitely gives me a lot of Reggie Bush vibes. He gives us some immediate help on third down. He's not as fast as Reggie Bush. He's possibly, if anything, a little bit more physically built and runs more physically than Reggie Bush, but does have ability to be able to catch the ball as well. So again, sort of Trestan in the backfield again. Yeah, gonna let it run. So again, sort of things I want you to pay attention to as someone, I don't know if you know this, but you know, if you don't know this, is to look at your clues. This is a DB, that's a tight end. Okay, so it kind of looks like, you know, safety up. Kind of looks like either a half field zone to this side or some sort of match coverage, because it's unlikely to be man to this side. The match coverage actually turns into man, but I'm just going to let it run because, you know, you've got one up over there, and one up over there, and that's what I want you to sort of pay attention to. So as a read, because you've got no other receivers outside, QB is probably going to be looking here and here. There's his two reads. So we'll let it run. And when it does, and again, a lot of work being done there by Trestan on what is basically a very short run. But I don't know what you guys are thinking in chat watching this live. I find this very encouraging play. Yeah, again, it's something that you know, we're going to go from the backfield sort of look on this because it's kind of the best place to do it. So again, this is the problem with these wide zone plays. When you've got, again, sort of a body in a hole and a body in a hole. So what do you do? Because I mean, technically, you're uncovered because he's not to this side. If he's head up or to this side, you're covered because the play is going this way. Okay. Here, if he's head up to that side, he's uncovered, covered that side. So that's covered. That's your guy, not really my guy. But again, because he's so close to the point where we need to be able to move on, and he's so close to the point where we need to be able to move on a wide zone, if you just go laterally, all you're doing is running towards the sideline. I don't particularly like that. I like to see my guys actually come across the line of scrimmage, be an offensive lineman, offensive being the key word, because we're the ones making contact. Yeah, that's too wide to be able to do a reach block around the edge there. You know, wide 9, kick out, okay, there, come off to here, whatever it is you want to do. Watch Trestan here because, again, we're not coming across the line of scrimmage, and this is the problem. You don't come across the line of scrimmage, that hand does nothing. This guy's penetrated to the play side where we need to go to. Again, we're not kind of moving this guy off the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be difficult to get to his backer, who are very quick to come up and fill. That's the whole point. The TCU comes downhill in a hurry. So Trestan's getting that sort of that stretch zone kind of look, and he's seeing it's, you know, yeah, could he potentially? No, not really, because he's already play side. So he's got to cut back, and you can clearly see this is messy, that's messy, and we've got 2 to the backside already. Great, and it's good vision because he has to stop dead there. Okay, that clear in front of you, which he does. Okay, and then we get a sort of you know, these guys are coming downhill, so you've got to slow them up. So what do you do to slow them up? I mean, you want to know a guy that can release off the line of scrimmage? That's a guy who can release off the line of scrimmage against man coverage. Being able to do that with your feet when you're running, you're coming downhill in a hurry. That is encouraging stuff because you know, that's the thing where goes one saying there's patience and vision, and this really, this settling your feet to make someone sit down, two people sit down, he's kind of made these people look like they're on skates. And then again, you know, knowing you're going to get contact, look at him get low. Look at him get his pads low, gets his body skinny, covers the ball, into contact, driving forward, back literally horizontal to the ground, driving with the legs. Again, not a flashy play, but the reason why I chose it is because this there, to settle those two guys on the backside down, and then into contact 1, 2.5 yards after contact, you know, running straight up the middle basically. So very, very encouraging stuff. That, I mean, that's a nightmare for anyone to try and tackle in the open field. You want to know why he's a good kick returner? Because he can do that to people. And literally, that is just sick movement. Again, he knows he's going to take contact, so, you know, takes contact, he delivers the contact. Shout out to Dynasty Nerds. Get a subscription with them, you'll be able to get access to some of the all 22 log I have. Do it yourself, you know, show me that you're better than I am at it. That's all good in my eyes. So again, we're just going to let it go again. There he is. The backfield, sorry. This is the play we're after. So here he is. We're just going to let it run. Again, you can kind of see that, you know, the clues are all here again. You know, three up to the top side. What have we got over here? Okay, tight end to this side. What have we got here? And this is the identification that a QB is going to be doing. So I'll just, you know, leave it at that. Getting the acceleration there, and then taking it. That is. Say what you want, guys, about Trestan Ebner, about him being sort of, you know, he's not going to be a starter or whatever. I mean, it probably isn't with David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert, but you're not going to be losing much putting this guy in the backfield in a sort of wide zone. You know, Raheem Mostert kind of vibes for me. And if you've ever watched him with San Francisco 49ers, I mean, look at this. It's that wide zone, wide zone, wide zone. And again, we've got upfield penetration. The wide zone's not going to work. Got to be able to seal that. So either you have to crack it, or, you know, you've got to do something to get the wide 9 turned in. You can't, so, you know, just cut back and then sees the cutback. You talk about the hole isn't there yet, but he knows this is clearing, and that's kind of where it's going to be. And the acceleration there, talk about putting the gas on there, it's just, that's, look at the speed coming up to the line of scrimmage. And the guys that are in pursuit just don't have a chance. You know, they're within, 3 yards of where he is, and they've got no chance of catching him there. It's only this guy, this safety, coming up. You know, it takes a good shot, and again, just sort of bounces off it. Almost gets out of that tackle. It's the fact that guy sort of, again, this safety, keep your eyes on him, because that's a great tackle by him. Because if he doesn't hold on, yeah, this dude, if he doesn't hold on, and again, so patience, puts his foot in the floor, look at the acceleration, straight up towards the safety. Great tackle by the safety. Because if he doesn't hold on there, he's gone, you know? And he's got the balance to be able to do that. Yeah, Shy City Soldier, yeah, falling forward, that's the thing. You know, running behind your pads. It's what you see consistently with Trestan Ebner. He runs behind his pads. And it's going to be the same when it comes to, you know, kick return and all the rest of it. You can see him actually, he's already highlighted on this. So we've got sort of a bit of a gadget type looking play. Obviously 2 tight ends to this side. You've also got a tight end over here. Kind of looking like you're going to go that way. QB with his left foot back kind of looks like a reverse pivot anyway. But they've got to respect this to the front side and then this to the back side. So let's watch it go. Again, it's just about getting it in the end zone, and that's a lot of traffic to be able to get it. Not a lot of room to work with by the time he's actually got the ball. Again, talk about this play and college hash marks. I kind of want to see this run from this direction, not this direction, to give yourself more room to work with. But anyway, they do what they do. It's a nice handoff. And again, straight away, the straight. This is the thing with TCU, straight across the line of scrimmage. So there is no cutback. So he's got a tight end here, tight end here. They should have the beating of their DBs on the outside. 89 really doesn't do much of anything because he's just a bit too hesitant. And that's again this DB coming up almost making a tackle, but just doesn't have enough. You're not going to stop Trestan Ebner from there, and that's the thing. That's where he's got the ball. You can see already across the line of scrimmage, 3 people, no possible cutback. Got to go outside. Does he plant there? Well, again, the only way he's got really is there because you cut back, you're going to be cutting into 2 tacklers. So it's got to go wide. And again, the thing is, subtle thing, because he makes one step just here, that plant, he takes one step towards the line of scrimmage and then goes back outside, slowing him up. That's the whole point of it. Slowing his feet and then bursting outside. He's got to make a full length tackle, which, again, great effort by the DB, but not enough. Not enough to stop him getting in. So again, he only gets the ball there. It's a gadget play, but not particularly well blocked up. That step towards the line of scrimmage slows him down just enough to be able to bounce it back outside. Again, not a great deal of room to work with because we've gone to the narrow side of the field. In the NFL, it'll be a little bit wider than that, but there you go. Gets in for the 6. So as it says on the tin, outside zone here. And again, more sort of cutbacks. You can see that you've already got again that sort of that pull kind of thing. Wham on the inside. I'd like to see 64 get a piece of him here. Sorry, I'm not letting it play. I need to let it play. Again, I'm nodding my head because I like it. It's very subtle, but what I like about Trestan Ebner with ball in hand. Okay, so right there, that kind of looks like the hole, and you've got a guy coming in and a guy coming in. So what do? Well, you run towards the hole, and then you bounce it back outside past the traffic because you've got a hip there, you've got a butt there, and you've got a butt there. Where you see one butt pointing that way and one butt pointing that way, that's where you go. This, again, you'd have been running into 2 tacklers had he come back there. So he presses towards the hole, pressing towards the hole right there. These are the 2 guys who are going to make the tackle if he does go there. And then he sees, butt there. Okay, I'm just going to take it there. This guy's got to respect that cut back in the inside, otherwise he's going to post. And that's why you get past that arm tackle isn't going to stop him. So contact is made there at the 45-yard line. Then we get another 5. So another 5 yards out of something that's. And again, this is the thing with Baylor is too much lateral and not enough coming across the line of scrimmage. They're both kind of just we're all kind of going this way. And again, this is that guard trap thing that we saw earlier. The guard's got to keep your head play side. That comes inside. That comes inside. That's kind of where it's designed to go. So Trestan gets the ball there, presses towards this gap. You can see the linebacker's already reading it. He's got a 2-way go at the end of the day. Linebacker has. Safety's going to try and get up there. I'd like to see 64 get a hand on this defensive tackle and then come down, but he doesn't. Releases it. And again, Trestan's he's got to make a decision. This guy's quite clearly sold to the inside, and that's where you see him bounce. You can clearly see he's doing it here. So he's pressing towards the hole, sees the linebacker, cuts back to the outside, puts the gas on. Yeah, that guy's going to get his hands on there at the 45-yard line. And we get another 5 yards out of it because of the speed that he attacks the scrimmage with. Good stuff. Encouraging. I mean, this is a guy that was taken later in the draft, let's not forget. So it doesn't look much, does it? But this is what it's what David Montgomery does so well. It's what Khalil Herbert does so well. They're all zone runners, and good at it. It's supposed to be wide zone. There's that sort of mesh to hold the backside again. You can see TCU all coming down towards the line of scrimmage. So, you know, this is where play action comes in. You can get a team coming down towards, their offensive line isn't particularly great. Shy City Soldier in the chat saying OT got stood up. It's quite a consistent team with all of their offensive line, to be honest. So, again, offensive line not really doing a massive amount of stuff up front to be able to actually help anything in terms of momentum, moving people off line of scrimmage. Trestan pressing towards the outside. Okay, there's the cutback. Cuts back, drops his pads. Look at him drop his pads now and accelerate behind his pads. Into contact. Falling forward, through another 4 yards. So contact is made there. That's what, the 22-yard line? And we get to the, 18 and a half. So another 4 yards. Again, this is the thing, is like, you know, we're kind of supposed to be coming at, you know, one of these gaps here is where he's supposed to be going. Quite clearly see, just cuts back. And because it's moving across, it looks like it's there. It's not. It's actually outside these two. But because these two are coming here, we're cutting off the back of them. And that's the whole thing with what he does. And it's, again, just watch him drop his pads now. So right into contact, absorbs the contact well, keeps his legs driving. Then he goes down. Pretty much at the 18-yard. Good stuff. So here we got him. Again, this time, you know, I think this is Texas. It is Texas. Up there. And again, different off. So you can kind of see outside. So backs to the sideline for both DBs. That's giving you clues. Safety's up there. Outside shade here. Outside shade on the DBs. Obviously, you know, everyone's already stood up here. And there's the handoff. So I'm just going to let it play, let you guys see what you see, and then we'll go back and have a look. Well, it's not. It's a different play. I quite like this. I think this would be very applicable for Justin Fields to run with any of our backs. Again, I like it because, you know, for all intents and purposes, and you can see that the two linebackers are already sold on that, and so is this safety. This one's backing up, and this is the way we're going behind our 3 DBs. And it's a numbers game. This is the whole point of this. It's a numbers game. Okay, 2 people are up. We've got a third over there. There's where the other third guy is. So once this back, that's the isolation guy. If he goes there, Justin Fields takes it. If he comes up to smash Justin Fields, he pitches it. Yeah, Trestan Ebner, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert. You know, and then you run this off the back of running this sort of stretch zone several times in the game. So you can see it's a lot. There's that sort of that zone step for the shotgun that we talked about, and then that's you run straight at him. This guy really has no chance. That's where you come in, and you don't need to, because, like, you know, your lineman's actually got out there. All you need to do is hit this guy, and then what does Trestan do with ball in the hands? He catches the ball, 41-yard line. Gets upfield in a hurry, presses inside, goes outside. Again, this is the thing, is where you see guys that are natural returners of the ball, they understand pursuit angles. And if you carry on going there, you make the pursuit angle easy. The way you stop this pursuit angle is you run towards them, they have to stop up, go back outside. And that's where it is. You see it there, slowing him up, slowing number 14 up, then he bursts back outside. Again, it's a good effort by 14, but it's not quite there. And that's because he's runs straight towards him and then cuts it outside. So very good with the ball in space. You know, there's not a lot of people, tacklers, that will, you know, 9 times out of 10, or even 7 times, or even 6 times out of 10, are going to win against him one-on-one in space. So again, you kind of know that you've got zone to that side. You've got 2 over and 1 over the top, cover 2 kind of look, cover 2 shell kind of look, with especially with the outside, you know, backs to the line of scrimmage. So anyway, that's giving you the clues. Let it run. So it's a bit choppy, this one. It's better on the other angle. Here we go. Again, talk about a guy running behind his pads and running physical. Yeah, it's that choppy there. I'm just going to do it from this angle. So again, yeah, 3 down linemen. Linebackers are up. So again, pressing. Yeah, the cutback lane. This guy's staying upfield, and that's okay. That guy's decent position block there. Press into the outside. Okay, sees a cutback, cuts back, presses back outside again. There's my tackler. So, you know, be the hammer and not the nail. And he does, you know. So again, contact is made at what, the 34-yard line. Drives in. This is the tackler that's just, you know, got him. Started at the 34-yard line, ends up at the 37, 38. And that's physical contact into the actual ball, the tackler. So that's, I think this is the last play. That's number 10. So we will go to chatting. And there we are. We'll leave one of these plays up on screen so we've got something to look at. That's it. That's Trestan Ebner. I think you've seen there that he's not just a wide receiver, although we saw from the first play you can literally line him up as a slot wide receiver or even on the boundary. And you've seen with that sort of that stutter move that we saw where he had to freeze the 2 guys on the backside. If you come up and press him, you're going to have difficulty getting your hands on him. If you got him in space, you're going to have difficulty with his ability to not only sort of freeze you with that lateral agility, but his ability to go from nothing to full speed in 2 steps is what is exciting about Trestan Ebner as a ball carrier. Secure ball carrier in terms of, you know, not putting it on the ground that much. Decent to above average hands. Good contact balance. Not the most physical back, but you can quite clearly see he's happy to run between the tackles as he is to run wide, and use his speed. He's quite happy to lower his pads and run over someone. So that's encouraging. That translates well to the NFL. Obviously, the Baylor offense, more of a spread type offense, less of a West Coast principle offense, but there is some sort of stretch zone, wide zone concepts in there, and certainly his physical traits do bode well for that. So that is Trestan Ebner, and I hope you enjoyed it and you had a good 4th of July. And all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for being here live, or if you've caught it later, I really do appreciate you watching the video to the very end. If you have and you haven't already hit subscribe, please hit subscribe, because I'm going to be doing this more often, bringing up the content as and when it happens. Also going to be covering college players, just college players in general. It's going to be offensive players. That's the tape that I've got available to sort of skill position players. That's where we're going to be looking at. We'll be doing that sort of later on in the season, and when obviously we've got some all 22 tape to look at NFL, we'll be looking at players together and what the Bears have done and what went well, what didn't, what needs to change, what's going well. So thanks very much for being here. Be kind to each other. Bear down, Bearlissimo. Cheers.